What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today we're going to be reacting to a video from Bootleg Kev titled Immortal Technique on Homelessness in LA versus NYC. Real quick before we get into it, shout out one more time to Nikki. She responded back to me when I asked you guys if you know any homeless shelters to look out for. I'm actually sending a big box of clothing out to the homeless shelter in Portland. It is called, what is the name of it? Give me 1 second. Okay, it is called Union Gospel Mission, and it is in Portland, Oregon. I have a big box of clothing I'm actually going to send out that way. So once again, Nikki, shout out to you. I had to look at it because I did not want to mess the name up. Y'all got to understand, y'all don't really know me like that, but I am bad at remembering names and places. I have to go physically a lot to be like, oh yeah, that's that place. And even then, I'll forget the name, but I'll know where something is going or where I'm going. I'm just sorry. I'm that type of person. But let's get into the video and see what Immortal Technique is talking about.
Yeah, I think too, man, LA it's a unique place because of how the unemployment stimulated people's pockets during COVID probably more than anywhere else. And once that went away, I think a lot of people who weren't used to living a certain lifestyle, right? They got a taste of that lifestyle. And you know, they're trying to keep that. I mean, once you get a taste of having that real money, because there was people eating off PPP and the EDD out here. So also too, I think a lot of the, obviously, you know, there's people who are just wrong place, wrong time. I think another thing is kind of being just self-aware of where you're at. Are you gonna walk around with $100,000 around your neck when somebody's starving?
Right.
I mean, you got to kind of understand the climate that's going on in LA right now. It's crazy because I used to feel like when I'd go to New York, I'd be like, you know, New York is the place where you get jacked. And I'm not saying it still isn't. Of course it is. But I feel like LA feels like just a much more dangerous place now. Even just
He's right. LA now is crazy. I never would have thought I'd see it flip like that, but I wouldn't go to LA. I promise you. I went years ago and it was cool. I've been to both. I've been to New York, New York City and LA. I would not go to LA right now. It's literally the wild, wild west out there. You can go out there and get robbed if you want to.
going to New York, we were just like, man, it's so nice. There's not that many homeless people. There's homeless people, obviously. We saw a bunch. But certain areas of LA, it's like Skid Row all over the place.
But there are Skid Row places in New York.
I'm sure there are.
I'll take you there next time.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, I'm sure. And every city has that, right? Yeah. But we were all over the city. If you just drive around LA, which I'm sure you've seen, it doesn't matter if you're in Skid Row. There's just 30 tents on the side of the road. There's
right.
I mean,
but you guys don't have a subway system that people live in.
This is true.
That's what we have too.
That's true.
Yeah, it's called the mole people or something. It's weird. There's a documentary about it right here on YouTube. I would implore you guys to go check it out. It's insane.
The subway system is a whole nother variable.
We have people that live underground. As a matter of fact, years ago there was a movie made called The Mole Men. And it was a documentary about people. And I would tell you myself, one of the craziest experiences I've ever had is I was 17 and I used to run with a bunch of wild Dominican.
Right.
I mean, talk about cutting, slicing, get the out of the way when you've seen all 30 of us coming down the street. Right. And one day we were writing graffiti at a place called the Freedom Tunnels, which is on 72nd Street. It's all gentrified now. But I walked down the Freedom Tunnel, right? And when we were leaving, we saw a dude just coming out looking like a regular homeless dude. All up. Yo, and he had a plastic bag with him, right, Kev? He goes to one of the little fountains. He washes himself off, Kev. He takes out a hand towel and uses it like a regular towel. He puts on a button-up shirt, smacks on a name tag, puts a hat
goes
on,
to work,
and gets ready to go to work. And we approached him because I was like, yo, I want to ask this something. So we approached him and he at first was like, all right, he's seen 20, 30 Dominicans.
Yeah.
He thought we was gonna evict him.
Right.
And I said, yo, we don't want to do nothing to you, bro. I said, I just want to ask you something. And he was like, what's up? And I said, you really live in the train tunnels? He said, yeah, there's 150 people down there now. He's like, I'm one of the people that lives there with my wife.
Oh, wow.
And I said,
they got that in Vegas too. So there's like a whole city of people underneath Las Vegas.
Right. So what I asked him is, I said, wait a minute. You live with your wife down there, and then you guys, and she's like, yeah, she has a job as a waitress, and I have a job working at this spot where I like, you know, I'm like a floor helper or whatever. And you know what? That day, I'm sitting in the park while all my people's just smoke wilding out. I'm just smoking an L thinking, and I'm like, and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, you know that dude we ran into? And they were like, yeah. I said, he's doing better than me. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's homeless. I said, no. I asked the guy before we left, I said, what's the goal? He said, you know, we can save up some money, and then me and my wife, in like a few years, we can move out of there, and we can try and get our own place again, get back on our feet. And
it's wild that he said in a few years. That's how expensive New York is. Like, I'm not shocked that people are doing that in New York. My friend, let me tell you guys for reference, to show you how ridiculously expensive New York is. At this time period, right now, 2022, all right? I have a house. Renting because we don't want to live here forever, so we're not buying a forever home here. But we're renting, right? If we don't count this office, because this technically isn't a bedroom, but if we count all the bedrooms, I live in a 4-bedroom house, right? Our rent is $13.50 a month. Okay? I'm in Ohio. My friend is in Brooklyn. She lives in the hood. Okay? She pays $1,500 a month. And she's paying for a bedroom. She's paying for a bedroom, not a 1-bedroom apartment. No, a bedroom. Where she shares an apartment with like 4 other people or something like that. So all these other people got their own bedrooms too. The reason she paying $1,500 a month is because her bedroom has the private bathroom in it. That's why it's $1,500 a month. Tell me that's not insane. $1,500 a month, bedroom. You don't even get a full spot. You get your bed, and her bedroom tiny. Her bedroom is tiny. She has showed me like pictures and video so I can get like an idea. Her bedroom is about as big as the smallest room in my house, and I use that room as a closet. I use a whole bedroom as a closet. That's how big her room is that she's paying $1,500 a month for. New York is ridiculously, or I would never live there. I don't care how much money I ever had to my name. Me and my boyfriend already talked about it. We will never live there. Just like LA, they're ridiculous too. Around the time I went to go visit LA, they had the nerve to be talking about, oh, it's like 3 G's a month for this 1-bedroom apartment. Excuse me? 3 G's a month? It wasn't even in a good area. It wasn't even in a good area. They was wilding. That was in what, 20? That had to be like 2015 or something we went out there. No. I would never live in a place. If you live in any of them places, why? Just leave. I promise you. There's better states. You can live way better. It won't be so much pressure on you financially. Leave.
I looked at the guys and I said, don't you understand, bro? Y'all out here looking for random broads. This not only found the love of his life, but he found a woman that really holds that standard for better or for worse. And not only that, but y'all don't got a plan. Right. This dude got a plan. At least, And I sat there and I was like, I don't got a plan and I don't got a ride or die. Right. What the f am I doing? Right. I still live with my mom and dad. I'm still with a life preserver on. Right. This dude's swimming in the ocean with wifey trying to make it. And it humbled me so much that I swear I have such a different attitude dealing with people. I talk to a janitor the way I would talk to
I think everybody should do that, man. Right. Because you never know. Like, I always tell that to people. I'm like, man, you never know who you, especially, you know, outside of just day-to-day real life. Like, I talk to young artists all the time about just like treating you got to treat the interns with respect. You got to treat the engineers with respect, because you never know who's going to end up being the president of your label one day, or you know, whoever. So yeah, no, it's definitely the case. Even like up and coming artists, you know, a lot of times people like will shit on up and coming artists. Like, it's like that could be the next whoever, and they might
or they'll just go at the youth because they're like, I don't like this style or something like that. So I know that being from my era, everybody when the skinny jeans first came out, they were ripping these kids, and I used to joke with everybody. I used to be like, listen, They might be wearing skinny jeans. They might even have a purse on. But there's a gun in that purse. You got to be careful with these little kids. Like, you can't just smack them up like there's nothing.
Yeah,
you have to respect the fact that the youth still, they want to prove themselves in some way.
Facts.
And so, you know, whether people make fun of them here, like the Edgars at Knott's Berry Farm, you don't want to get jumped by 50 Edgars.
Oh, you're tapped into the Edgar culture at Knott's?
You don't want to get jumped. Well, listen, fam, don't get jumped by 50 Edgars at Knott's Berry Farm, because that's not something that your reputation can recover from. All right, you getting beat up by gang members, people are like, all right, what do you expect? But you getting jumped by children, don't do that.
Do you follow all the like food communities and like all those IG pages?
Fools Gone Wild.
Yeah,
big shout out to Fools Gone Wild. Yeah, they're cool.
They're hilarious.
I think that.
But they always have the Edgars fighting at Knott's. It's always a thing. It's like, what's going on at Knott's Berry Farm? They like had to change the rules.
Yeah, they made it so that you have to have a big homie with you. But that didn't change that much because
I could just get the 20-year-old homie to come.
Right. Yeah. So you have to be accompanied by someone over 21.
Yeah.
So you just got to bring the big homie now.
Okay. All right, that was interesting. Like, the fact that seeing that man live in the sewers, the subways, not the sewers, with his wife really was like, man, he doing better than me. That's a way to get humbled right there. Even the part when he was talking about you gotta talk to everybody with respect, when he was talking about the janitors and stuff. So my last job, I was in management, right? But I worked up to management. So I remember when I was like entry level, fresh into the place. This janitor used to come by my station all the time. He was like an old dude. He was cool, man. He used to be so happy to see me. He'd be like, man, I always see you working hard and everything. You a good worker. You gonna move up in here one day. And that's what he said the first day he saw me. So ever since then, we would just talk every time I would see him. Then I didn't see him for a while once the pandemic started. So I'm thinking either he got sick or got fired. I don't know. I didn't know what happened. Then I moved up into management, right? Then I randomly saw him one day. He was like, hey, I ain't seen you in a minute. Where you been at? And I was like, oh, they got me running a such and such department right now. He was like, they got you running the department? He's like, man, I'm so proud of you. He started like hugging me. It was like hugging my grandpa and everything. Because once he left, the other people in janitorial that I would see, they were all older people. So I don't know how this happened, but I ended up becoming really cool with all of them because they were just super nice. And yeah, they were just so happy when they all heard I had moved up in the company. They were just so cool about it. You got to be nice to people like that because you never know when you're going to see them outside. Because I know I had the older people in my department. So like I'm management, but they older than me, but I'm above them, right? I still treated them with respect because them was my elders. Like if you ain't got no beef with me. And it was so cool because I ended up seeing a few of them outside of work sometimes when I would be out with like my family or my nephew or whatever. And they was like real cool. They be like, oh, you out here with your family? These my kids. They just introduced me to them. They're real cool. You gotta be nice to people like that, you know? But interesting to hear about the people who live in the sewers. Like I said, there's a documentary right here on YouTube. It's about the mole people. I would implore y'all to go look at that. Also, like I said, shout out to Nikki for letting me know where to send the clothing to the homeless shelter. It actually sparked something in me. One day, I don't even know how I would set this up. That's why I said one day, because we're not doing it now. I would like to set up a food or clothing drive that includes you guys, where you guys can like send stuff to, I guess I would have to get a P.O. box for this to happen. And we all can agree on where to send it to, because I ship everything out. I have no issue with that. But we can all figure out together as a community where to send stuff out to, and we could do it. And if it ends up being local, like if I could drive there, I will, and I could just film it and make it a video. But I would like to start doing stuff like that with y'all, maybe like once or twice a year. I gotta work that out. I have to figure that out. But that's something that's been playing on my mind ever since this, you know what I'm saying? So with that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss when I drop a video. And until next time, you already know who it is. It's Sang.